Willpower is the capacity to direct yourself, your actions, attention, impulses, and choices toward what aligns with your values rather than what your feelings prefer in the moment. It is not about being harsh or rigid on yourself. It is the inner strength that lets you hold a direction long enough for life to change around you. You need willpower because every meaningful area of life eventually demands something from you when you don't feel like giving it. Work, health, relationship, creativity, finance, healing, growth. All of them have moments where emotion, fatigue, distraction, or old patterns try to pull you off course. Willpower is the bridge between who you are and who you are trying to become. So, how do you develop a very strong life-wide willpower? Number one, start by defining the self you're trying to steer. Willpower works best when it knows who it is working for. Name the kind of person you're trying to become. This gives your willpower a direction, not just task. Are you trying to be more disciplined, consistent, courageous, emotionally matured? Whatever it is, give it a name. Without this, you will force discipline in one area while falling apart in another. Number two, build awareness of your impulse patterns. Take a few days to note when you avoid, procrastinate, overreact, overspend, indulge, or escape. This is not in a bid to judge yourself. It is just to understand the force that drain your willpower. Awareness is the map. Willpower is useless without knowing where you keep getting lost. Number three, strengthen your attention before your actions. Willpower is attention in its rawest form. Practice directing your mind on command. Short focus exercises, intentional breathing, completing simple tasks without checking your phone. All of this can help. If you can hold your attention, you can hold your choices. If you can't, discipline always feels like a battle. Number four, learn to regulate your emotional temperature. Willpower is weakest when emotions are loud. Learn to pause, breathe, label your feelings, and wait a moment before you react. When you can lower your emotional intensity even a little, you claim the mental space needed to choose rather than impulsively respond to situations. Number five, start with your micro decisions. Everyday decisions are where willpower is trained. Opening a tab you don't need, arguing when you could walk away, scrolling instead of finishing something small. Clean up these tiny traces. They are reps. They quietly raise your capacity to do other things later. Number six, train yourself to finish what you start in small doses. Pick small tasks and complete them fully. Finishing is a muscle. People who struggle with willpower often leave loops open everywhere. Then the brain stays cluttered and unfocused. Learning to complete things builds internal authority, and that will in turn strengthen your willpower. Number seven, design friction intentionally. Don't rely on raw self-control. Modify your environment so that temptation costs more energy and good choices cost less. Delete apps, pull things out of reach, schedule your commitments in ink and place reminders in your space. You are reducing unnecessary battles so that your willpower is saved for things that actually matter. Number eight, practice controlled discomfort. A strong willpower doesn't crumble when something feels unpleasant. Build tolerance gently. Cold showers, waiting before you indulge, doing the hardest task first, and sitting with boredom for a moment, all these things will help you. You're teaching your mind that discomfort is survivable and therefore not a valid reason to stop. Number nine, learn to choose long-term identity over short-term emotion. When faced with conflict between feeling and intention, pause and ask, which version of me am I strengthening by choosing this? Willpower grows when your decisions repeatedly reinforce the identity you're building, even in tiny ways. Number 10, guard your energy because willpower is energy. Fatigue, hunger, stress, mental clutter, and sleep deprivation drain your willpower faster than anything. Take your rest seriously. Eat before you start starving. Budget your commitment. Don't overload your brain with open tasks. A tired mind cannot resist anything. A steady one can resist almost everything. 11. Create routines that make willpower automatic. The strongest people don't rely on willpower constantly. They rely on structured rhythms that carry them on default. Morning routines, nightly resets, weekly reviews, fixed work blocks. When your life has structure, willpower only needs to show up when something unexpected happens. Number 12, strengthen your recovery muscle. Your willpower is not defined by how perfectly you perform. It is defined by how quickly you return after sleeping. Practice immediate recovery. Stop, reset, and continue. This is the difference between a lapse and a spiral. Number 13, surround yourself with people whose standards raise yours. Human behavior is contagious. So being around disciplined and intentional people makes willpower easier because it normalizes effort, accountability, and restraint. Number 14, keep proving small things to yourself. Do one thing daily. Might be tiny, but let it be deliberate. That reminds you that you're in control of yourself. Drink water when you want soda. Put your phone down when you feel the pull. Wake up 10 minutes earlier. These micro victories accumulate into a deep internal belief I can trust myself. In summary, willpower is not a single act. It is a life skill built from consistency, emotional regulation, attention control, and identity alignment. When you train it across your entire life and not just one habit, you become someone who can direct yourself with clarity, discipline, and quiet confidence.